Hello and welcome. Today I would like to share with you a math activity that's based off of the story Sheila Rae The Brave. This is a simple activity you can do one-on-one with a child or within a small group setting, and it doesn't cost a lot of expensive materials to do this, and I'm going to show you. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so the materials that we're going to be using today will be a pair of scissors. Tape is optional. You don't have to have it, but you might decide you want it. You're going to need some paper. I've got lots of this computer paper laying around the house, but use what you have. You don't have to have it white. You can have cardstock. You could also recycle squares from cardboard packaging that you can flip over and use on the other side as well. So you don't have to go out and buy anything for this. Another thing we're going to need today are either peg pieces or plastic animals. Today I'm going to be using these little dollhouse animals. They've been around in my family for a while. And it just so happened that I had 2 mice. But use what is available at your house. Like literally you can use anything and pretend that is going to be Sheila Rae today. And then you're going to want a dice. Now, if your child is learning their numbers, I suggest using a dice that has the dots so that they can count them one at a time. If you're really working with your child to do number recognition, then I would suggest using a dice that actually has the written numbers on them. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut our paper into squares. Now there's not a right or wrong way to do this. I am going to go ahead and fold my paper because it's going to make it a little bit easier for me to cut. I recommend trying about 25 squares. You could do more if you want to, but 25 is a good number to start with. Again, these don't have to be perfect. We just want a square-like shape today. And I want them to be about the size of my character, so I'm going to go about this big. There you go. We got some squares. And then with these squares, what we're going to do is we're going to line them up like a sidewalk. Now this is where the tape is optional. So if you decided, hey, this paper is moving around a lot, a little bit of rolled tape is going to help them from wanting to slip away from you. And I'm using my kitchen table for this activity. You could also use the floor or any hard surface. You just want to make sure it has enough room for your squares. And as you can see, my squares are not perfect. All right, so in this game, we're going to have a starting point for our sidewalk. And in the story, Sheila Rae walks on the cracks of the sidewalk. So these gaps between our squares are going to be our cracks. So I would ask a child to roll a dice And then I would ask them, what number is this? And they could count 1, 2. And then that's how many cracks that Sheila is going to walk on. So she walks on 1 crack, 2 crack. And then we'd roll again. Then I would ask them again, what number did you roll this time? 1, 2, 3. So then Sheila Rae would walk 3 more. Now, if I had more than one person playing, I might also have them be the little sister. And Sheila's little sister walks on the sidewalks. So I would ask that child to roll the dice. And then she would walk 1, 2. So she would walk on the squares and Sheila would walk on the lines between the squares. And then we would continue until we got the end. And that's the game. And once you reach the end, you could always have them start again if you see that your child is really interested in this, or if your child knows their numbers pretty well, you could also use 2 dice and you could work on some addition. And I would recommend having the dotted dice if you are just introducing addition. So thank you for joining me, and I hope this is an activity that you give a try.